Howdy, this is Grady Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round 1 results for the Gold and Silver Era Arena as well as the Nick Fury Arena. So first, the results. So this was a little bit higher than I expected, a little bit for the Gold and Silver Era arenas, just because what we typically see for old champs, what you can see here, even though there's some definite decent old champs to get out of here, like they're not that old, relatively old and compared to a newer champ in the game, but anyway, we're still talking like Thing, Dr. Octopus, Sentinel, you name it. There's some decent champs in here, but anyway, round 1 for the 5-star feature came in at 48.4 million. So when it comes to old champs available in the arena, this is pretty much the higher score we've seen. Before this, we've seen like Iceman almost at 40 million. We saw Captain America at Infinity War, and these are decent champs. I would compare at the same level with Thing and Sentinel, which are probably some of the better champs you can get out of this. But maybe it's just the ability to self-select which ones you want that really kind of drove this number above and beyond that 40 million threshold for what we've seen for old champs before. And then jumping over to the 4-star feature arena, same thing, 6.4 million is one of the higher numbers we've seen for an old champ in the arena in some time. I'd say almost, I don't want to say forever, but it could definitely be the highest we've ever seen for an old champ and old champs, I guess. And I guess what always makes this interesting is this is one of those kind of weird, arenas that we really don't have anything to compare it to. So just because there's old champs available, no new champs, that's how I based it off of the old champ. But as you can see here, those numbers were off a bit, as these numbers went high a little bit, higher I should say. And then Nick Fury came in at 2.7 million, and this is typically what we see for a champ of his magnitude available in the 4-star basic arena of late. So when I compare these round 1 results to, and I should say reported results, keep in mind Kabam never releases official numbers. These are just actual reported from players across the community at different spots, whether it be in Reddit or MCOC Truckers. Those are a couple of the hot spots that I check for players self-reporting results. Anyway, comparing these results to my cutoffs, you can see in pretty much every instance, I didn't make 10%, but just missed 10%. Like 5.8 from the 6.4 is just under or just above 10%. Same thing with 3.1 and even 42 million. So wasn't very far off to that target I try to get from 5 to 10%, but it isn't 10%. So I'm going to have to give these a big fat X because, again, they weren't at 10% or lower. They were just a hair above 10%. So anyway, now that I've taken a look at round 1 results, let's take a look at some past results. Maybe get an indicator, as we can tell here, because of the uniqueness of these feature arenas. We can't necessarily go verbatim for what was seen in the past, but maybe we'll get an idea. Anyway, with 5-star feature old champs, old arenas, you can see that in most cases, Captain America Infinity War that I just mentioned, in Star-Lord, in all those instances, the second round was higher than the first round, where in the case of Spider-Man Classic, I should be clear, he actually had a lower second round. But 3 out of 4 here show you that, and if you even look at some other, and I guess the closest example to this I could look at would be Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange had a higher second round than the first round. And then looking at the 4-star feature, same thing in most instances, all except that Captain America Infinity War did the second round go higher than the first round. Now I will say all those other numbers other than Captain America were lower than 6 million. In all those instances when it was lower than 6 million, it went higher a little bit, but in some cases though, how high it went was just a tick higher. There wasn't a tremendous jump. I think other than that, Hela did have a pretty big jump from 4.8 to 5.6, but everybody else went from like 5 million to 5.2, 5.1 to 5.3. So we're talking a couple 100,000. And in this and the 4-star feature arena, that's not a big jump. So again, given the uniqueness of this arena, the ability to self-select which champs you need, we may see a similar kind of pattern, just a couple ticks higher. And then coming over to Nick Fury, what we've seen in most instances, is a slight decrease here of late. When you look at Thing, went from 2.9 to 2.9, but a little lower 2.9. Then you saw Havoc go for 2.8 to 2.1. Now that was a pretty significant drop. And Mr. Sinister went from 2.4 to 2.4. Again, not even a couple 100,000 in this case, like 20,000 drop. And then what we saw, what you don't see here is Captain Marvel. She too had a decrease. She had a decrease of a couple 100,000 actually, but the trend still holds. The last 4 similar type champs, Thing, Havoc, Mr. Sinister, and Captain Marvel. So decent champs for sure, available in the 4-star basic. They all did have that slight decrease in the second round. And then lastly, with the 3-star feature arena, in most cases for old champs, it's right around that last cutoff again, around 640,000. So without a lot of good self-reported data available across the community, it's hard to see that this number, if it goes too differently. So we'll just assume that this trend holds and assume that it's going to be right over that 640,000 threshold. So now that we've seen some of these recent results for somewhat similar arenas, again, the gold and silver era arenas are pretty unique, so we just got to keep that in mind. So kind of keep that with a grain of salt with these round 2 predictions. We'll try to base them off of past results, but as I always say anyway, you can't future results don't guarantee from past results, and I think that's definitely the case here, since there's not an exact similar arena to compare against. But anyway, with that said, I think with the 5-star feature arena, we're going to see that slight increase. Again, slight, going up to 49 million. Same thing with the 4-star feature, a very slight increase to 6.5 million. I think with Nick Fury, we'll see that decline that we saw for Captain Marvel. Not as significant. Captain Marvel had 200,000. I think we'll see that 100,000 drop to 2.6 million. And I think we're looking at that 3-star feature gold and silver era arena coming in right around 670,000. As I always say, I like to give grind targets, something to kind of give yourself more protection, if you will, a better chance to get the champ, because it's no one knows exactly where these things are going to land. So with that said, with the round 2, and to be clear, with the round 2 predictions as well as these grind targets, they're for the veterans bracket. That means you've got an older account that's been open over 61 days, not played, but since the account's been open. But anyway, with for a grind target, get yourself make sure you give yourself a better chance to get these arena. Go to 51 million for the 5-star feature, 6.7 for the 4-star feature, 2.8 for Nick Fury, and then 700,000 for the 3-star feature. Now, the beginner bracket and intermediate brackets, these are even a wilder west, a wild west to be clear, because they're volatile arenas to begin with people moving around, no consistent area across the community where people self-report. A handful of folks self-report in the comment section of my videos, and I do appreciate that, as that gives me a sense. But with the gold and silver arenas and their uniqueness, it's even crazier to kind of try to get an idea what's going on with these. So these are very, very rough estimates, guesstimates to be clear. But anyway, with the beginner's bracket, again, beginner meaning your account's been open 1 to 30 days. 3-star feature looking at 225,000. 4-star basic 1.1 million. 4-star feature 1.2 million. Jumping down to the intermediate bracket, meaning your account's been open 31 to 60 days. 3-star feature 525,000. 4-star basic 1.3 million, and the 4-star feature 1.4 million. So anyway, these are very rough estimates, so we really have nothing to compare them to, and we're talking about pretty volatile arenas to begin with. So keep that in mind, and as I always say, just push yourself through the milestone rewards if you can, because you're having a newer account, and newer accounts could use all those nice milestone rewards. So anyway, these are my thoughts for round 2 of the gold and silver era arenas and Nick Fury arena. So would love to hear your thoughts. So on down in the comment section, we discuss them there. Questions as well, try to get to them if possible. And other than that, hopefully you find this information useful. If so, would really appreciate if you click that thumbs up button, as that helps the video and the channels out quite a bit. And if you like this video and you haven't subscribed yet and like other videos I have on the channel, I would really appreciate it if you do subscribe. So anyway, thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.